Hello, and welcome to a South of the Border episode of the Drywall Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Harmon. I'm excited to bring you Oscar Acosta, a Panel Rey. This episode is exciting because Oscar is our very first guest from Mexico. He is the regional sales manager who covers the Caribbean and is located in Monterrey, Mexico. We discuss selling Panel Rey in the UK, and we also talk about selling in the Caribbean and how he may have learned about drywall in a classroom.
Edgardo, I talked to him and asked him if I can send him my resume. And he said, sure, man, and sent it to him and got to have an interview. And after several, steps of the way, I didn't get to get into the engineering team because my goal was to be in the engineering part, right, of the company.
Okay.
This position in the engineering part would be going to the jobs and specifying, do plans and calculations and everything, right? But there was another guy here in the company called Ramiro. Shout outs to Ramiro, obviously. He gave me the opportunity to be in his team, overseeing other stuff, right? In this case, the Armstrong ceiling tiles, right? The acoustical ceilings.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was more architectural than being in the engineering part. So that's how I got into the drywall business, right?
We talk about how drywall isn't the number one method for finishing in Mexico, and so they are trying to promote it maybe more than other places. We talk extensively about the technical side of joint compound and why Panel Rey strives to be the best. This episode may hinge on more of an educational side, but we still manage to have a little fun. Today's episode of the Drywall Podcast is sponsored by our friends at East Coast Drywall Tools. What the hell is East Coast Drywall Tools, you might be asking yourself? Well, I'm about to tell you. If you are looking for automatic drywall tools or just need parts or service on your existing tools, East Coast Drywall Tools has you covered. They have a wide selection of automatic drywall finishing tools, abrasives, knives, and stilts. You'll find a good selection of professionally refurbished tools at discounted prices with all the bells and whistles. Also, if you purchase over $100, you get free shipping. East Coast Drywall Tools has over 35 years of experience servicing automatic tools, repairing most major brands, including Drywall Master, Tape Tech, Level 5, Columbia, Blue Line, and Tape Pro. You'll be kept updated throughout the repair process, and you can always call for questions or updates. Visit eastcoastdrywall.com for tools or information on repairs. Also, check out my interview with Derek Trout, owner of East Coast Drywall Tools, all the way back on episode 53 of the Drywall Podcast, or tune in next week as he joins us once again for episode 147 on a revisit. Derek is kind of a badass. He's extremely knowledgeable about drywall tools, and I know you're going to dig it. Looking for something to do in October? You guys should come over to Swindon, England and join me along with a bunch of other badass drywallers for the GWI and Paint Station UK Collaboration Trade Day. I call it a retail adventure, but we'll have demos from Fresco Harmony, Panel Rey, Adobe Spray Equipment, Flex Power Tools, Monarch, and more. Also, we'll be introducing the Morph Sander to the mix, along with our friends at Tape Tech, Asgard Tools, and much, much more. There also might be an unveiling of the much needed and long awaited Fresco Harmony trowel from Comay. They'll be releasing this trowel for the first time at the event. Please come. I'd love to meet you. Lastly, immediately following the England extravaganza, I will be racing from Albuquerque to Dallas to take part in my very first Build Show Live. This expo takes place October 17th and 18th at the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in Dallas, Texas. The folks at Tape Tech have been gracious enough to invite me to their booth. We'll be playing with colored mud and showing off a ton of badass tools. It's in Dallas. Come say hi. But for now, Oscar Acosta of Panel Rey on the 146th episode of the Drywall Podcast. We have Oscar Acosta of Panel Rey Mud and probably other things.
Yeah.
What else does Panel Rey do?
All right. So Panel Rey is a company that makes, their main business is drywall, right? Drywall, which is gypsum boards, cement boards, and all the other, items needed for that construction system, which is metal studs and tracks and joint compounds, tapes, screws, whatever is needed, right?
Excellent. 146. Quite a few. So 3 years, a little over 3 years we've been doing it.
Almost once a week. So congratulations, man.
Almost once a week. Yeah. A little slower. Have you listened to any of the episodes?
Well, not that much. Fortunately, here in Panel Rey, we have, tons of work over here.
Yeah.
We just spoke a couple of days ago, and talked about what the podcast is about. And I'm really happy to be here and happy to help and promote this construction system and try to put my little grain of sand here.
Yeah. No, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on. You're probably at work. Your background your background normally look like an office?
None. All right, here it is.
Oh, okay. That's a little less interesting, but it's real.
Yeah, it's just a normal meeting room here that I separated for this event because my office is it has another 6 people, so it's a lot of noise and calls, and you know how it is. So I wanted to be in a private room.
What is your title at Panel Rey?
All right, so I'm sales manager, regional sales manager here in the Latin America department, or the export department for Latin America. My region is the Caribbean and new markets. So I oversee the Caribbean islands, and in other countries would be Belize, Guyana, and Suriname, which are not in the Caribbean, but they're way related to the Caribbean. And also the new markets would be whatever is outside of America, which is Europe, Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Asia. So, but my biggest market would be the Caribbean, right? Because we're pretty close.
Very cool. How many people? And you are coming from, coming from Mexico. Where are you located in Mexico right now?
All right. So I'm in Monterrey. Monterrey is a big city, pretty much the second or third largest city in Mexico, which is on the northern part of Mexico, close to the border to Laredo, Texas. And a city that is pretty huge in industrial manufacturing and these kinds of services, right? There's other cities that are close to here related to industry. So Monterrey is a great city to live, a lot of work,
Great.
I'm here, but I actually was born in another city, which is Cozumel. Cozumel is an island. Yeah, Cozumel is an island that is close to Cancun. So I am Caribbean myself.
Yeah. And Oscar is the first Mexican, Hispanic, whatever, person that we've had on the Drywall podcast. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe we'll get
hopefully
more.
not the last one.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No,
Are
man.
you a football fan? Soccer?
Yeah, football or soccer. Yeah, man, I'm a huge fan. I mean, it's right now the soccer industry is kind of you know weird, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I love football. Watching some games here and then.
What's your do you watch the La Liga?
La Liga in the Spanish one.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, not a huge fan of that league. You
Okay.
can say I think my favorite team there would be the Atletico because they're always the underdog, right?
Okay.
So I like the underdogs, but here in Mexico I like the one that is always hated, which is America, or Club America, which is either love it or hate it.
Why
So
did why do they hate Club America?
well, because it's the one that has the most championships, and
Yeah.
people like
Yeah.
to. There's saying love to hate them.
Like Manchester United, like
Man
that.
U or Real
Yeah.
Madrid, and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
all those teams, or Barcelona, whatever. So
Sure.
PSG, and yeah, those guys tend to have a lot of haters as well.
Yep.
But it's fun, right?
Yeah. Mexico's good. Like your national team is doing very well.
Well, better than some, right? But
Yeah, better than
I hope
America.
that yeah,
Yeah.
right now, yes, right now, yes. But I mean, it could be better.
I keep waiting for America to like do something in the soccer space, and it's just like ugh, I don't know what it is. MLS is growing. Albuquerque has a team, United in the USL Soccer League, which
Yeah,
is very very fun.
yeah, which is
It's
I think the second division. I think.
Yeah, but we've beat MLS teams, so they might go to relegation, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I hope they do because it's gonna make soccer better in America, hopefully.
it it's gonna take a little time because I mean, in
Yep.
the US, other sports are huge,
Yep.
football or
Yep.
the NBA, whatever, and um, but yeah, I mean, it's a great deal that football in USA is growing because it helps to grow economically
Yes.
the whole region, right? Canada, USA,
Yeah.
Mexico, that those investments help sometimes to build new spaces or new department buildings or commercial buildings, and it helps to have jobs for everyone.
And they buy Panel Rey products when that happens.
Well, I hope so. Yeah. We're
Okay,
trying.
so I know Oscar because of Ben at GWI. Another little plug just for our audience. We're going to be in Swindon at GWI October 11th for training, a Fresco Harmony training. They're
Yes.
introducing tape tech tools, morph sander, some other items and tools, but he is a big proponent of Panel Rey and has used, and he sells a lot of your stuff. Why do you think Ben is selling a lot of Panel Rey over there? What do you think it is?
Well, I think it's a combination of several factors. We have some competitive price over there, but most importantly would be the quality of our products, which are, I mean, top notch.
Okay.
It competes with the best brands over there. There's other huge manufacturers over there in Europe, and we have the product that competes in quality with them. And I mean, in price, we are also competitive. We try to have a really good relationship with Ben, right? Trying
Yeah.
to get his orders going, and he's have with us a really cool alliance, and I really appreciate Ben. He's I mean, obviously a great distributor of Panel Rey, but also a great man, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate his business and his friendship, and yeah, man, I think he will be a key element to grow our brand over there in England.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. He's doing great. He's a great guy. We're excited to go over it. You're not going to be at the training.
Not myself. We're gonna help him with other activities on at distance. Uh, Try to support the brand and his
Yeah.
event.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Because it'd be nice to meet you sometime. Do you
yeah,
guys
man.
do you go and do you do any of the shows in the United States?
Right now, well, yeah, I'm not really sure which ones. I know that we have booths every year in a show in Dallas or in Houston. I'm not really
Okay.
sure. There's a show that I know that we there. Sometimes we have the AWCI, which is
Yep.
the an organization, and we tend to go there. Not myself, but other members of our team to get certified on the drywall construction system. And yeah, I mean, I think they're in Dallas. I'm not really sure, but I think they're in Dallas, and yeah, there's a team that already oversees the United States, mainly Texas.
Okay.
But yeah, also, New Mexico, Arizona, and California.
Okay. They don't let
You
you on
know,
that team. You're just the Caribbean. You just get to go
yeah.
and kick it in the beautiful weather and maybe go ahead and get some beach time and fishing.
Well, yeah, fishing for sales, maybe.
Fishing, yeah,
But
I like that.
yeah, fishing for sales. But well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty weird because since I'm from, Cozumel, I mean, I've been a beach guy all my life. So going to the Caribbean is like going home somehow. And I
Right.
mean, not it's not really attractive for me going to the beach
Uh,
in the Caribbean because I mean I know how it is. So I tend to focus my time on visiting our distributors, trying to build the relationships, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about Oscar's history. Were you a drywall person? Did you go to college? Did you get a degree, and then now you're
Mhm.
using that degree in the position that you're in? Let's go back to maybe grade school in Cozumel,
Yeah.
normal education. Did you go to college?
Yeah. Well, I almost finished high school in Cozumel. My last year of high school, I went to Sacramento, California. I did my senior year over there, class of 2003.
Cool.
And yeah, and after that, I went to college here in Monterrey. I went to architecture school um, and finished my degree there in, the years that you have to have 10 semesters. But during that time, uh, well, as an architect, or not as an architect, well, as a student, you don't really know what you're going to do, right, with your life. I mean, you have
Yeah.
some sense of idea, but
Yeah.
they teach you architecture, but they don't teach you how to be an architect. So,
Right. Right.
right. So well, in there's an opportunity to have one class or one semester that is only about drywall system, right? And this class
Okay.
was taught by a guy here in Panel Rey, and well, that's how I met the brand and the construction company, the construction system, right? So
Let's back up a little bit. I have two questions. One
yeah.
is why did you pick architecture? The other one that's interesting is why they do a entire class devoted to drywall. So first one, architecture.
Yeah. Well, there were some options, obviously. In my history, I wanted to be, computer science, or there was a time that I wanted to be a chemist, right?
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
biologist. But there one day, just a guy just mentioned, "I am an architect." A guy I knew, and he showed me some plans and what he does. I mean, I thought it was really interesting. And architecture is a mix of mathematics and art, right? So I'm kind of like an artist myself. I play the drums, musician, and
Neat.
the artist is in me. And well, I wanted to have an expression of art, but also I think I'm good at math, so try to apply them and solve problems artistically, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I chose architecture. Well, during that time, I think about halfway of my college career, I wanted to have a part-time job, and this part-time job was with an architect. And the what job can you get as a student, but just go to the job sites and maybe take some measures and deliver some materials, and
Sure.
well, over that time you get
Were you
some
get
kind of experience.
were you getting paid or was it like an internship?
It was a small pay, right?
Okay.
So I
Okay.
mean, part-time job. I mean, really small, just to get some experience and just to get to buy some of my materials that I needed for my career. Pencils
Okay.
and rulers, whatever. And
Yeah.
yeah, there are stuff that is really expensive. But yeah, I mean, so in ninth semester, I remember that in ninth semester, I noticed that, and Panel Rey has. It was actually the first year that Panel Rey did this. So Panel Rey has kind of like a motivation to help students notice this construction system, right? So they can apply it to their professional career.
So
Why?
Panel Rey comes into the college. They
Yeah,
have a sort of a course
yeah,
that is directly focused on drywall systems to
that's right.
bring students awareness to this aspect of the construction
Yeah,
industry. Okay.
that's right. No problem.
Do you remember the name of the of that program?
It was something like light construction system
Okay.
or sistemas de construcción ligera, like construction systems.
Okay.
As part of a college program, we cannot put any brand, right? But you're already there, so you already explain where you come from as a brand, right?
Yeah.
Which is in this case is Panel Rey. So yeah, it's pretty much like planting seeds, right? To get obviously a more robust market share, right?
Well, it worked because they wrangled you. They
Yeah,
got you. They
and
got you.
yeah, man, and I think yeah, well, I think it paid off.
Yeah.
It paid.
Probably more so for them, Oscar.
Yeah,
So you were learning in this class, you were learning about drywall systems and something
yes.
maybe about that attracted you?
Yes, because when I was working as I told you in this part-time job, I noticed some differences in construction systems here in Mexico. The traditional brick wall and concrete walls is it's really huge, and it's not like in Canada or USA where everything is drywall. In Mexico, it isn't. So, trying to get to know more efficient construction systems like the drywall one, well, it was something that I was really attracted to be faster and to be, cleaner. Um, and yeah, I mean, it attracted me, and there was an opportunity to go to their plant, right? When I was a student, they took us to the fabrication plant, which is in a small town here in Monterrey, which is El Carmen, around 40 minutes north to Monterrey. And they took us to the plant, and when I got there, I got to visit all the halls and machinery and the big furnaces, right? And when I got there, I decided I want to go there. I want to work there. That's
Weird.
that's that's something that I decided right there. And I mean, I just love.
You saw that gypsum getting turned into butter and you were like, I want to work with these guys. This is
Yeah,
cool. This is
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Well, it was something that I thought it was really cool. I mean, as a 20-something-year-old guy, I
Yeah.
mean, wow, I was super amazed at the machinery and the hugeness of the company. And by the next class, the next week, I got to talk to the teacher, which is the engineering boss here in Panel Rey.
What's
And I
his
told,
name?
hey,
What's his
uh,
name?
his name is Edgardo. Edgardo,
Edgardo.
yeah, Edgardo Aguilar, which is the engineering chief here in Panel Rey.
Okay, shout out to
And
Edgardo. Now, is he going to listen to this podcast?
I'm gonna send him the link of
Hey,
Edgardo. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
yeah, shout out.
Yeah, man. Edgardo, I talked to him and asked him if I can send him my resume. And he said, sure, man, and sent it to him and got to have an interview. And after several, steps of the way, I didn't get to get into the engineering team because my goal was to be in the engineering part, right,
Okay.
of the company.
Okay.
This position in the engineering part would be going to the jobs and specifying, do plans and calculations and everything, right? But there was another guy here in the company called Ramiro. Shout outs to Ramiro, obviously. He he uh, he gave me the opportunity to be in his team, overseeing other stuff, right? In this case, the Armstrong ceiling, um, the Armstrong ceiling tiles, right? The
Okay.
acoustical
Acoustical.
ceilings.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was more architectural than being in the engineering part. So that's how I got into the drywall business, right? I took the engineering, the architecture college class, then went to this Panel Rey course, went to the plant, and here I am, man, after almost 15 years.
Now, let me ask you this because we have a lot of listeners that they use the mud, they work with the mud. Have you worked with the mud at all just to test it out or play with it?
Yeah, in that class and over the course of my career in Panel Rey, I got the chance to be also install the product, right, and using the mud itself.
Yeah,
Not really a handyman myself. I'm
sure.
pretty bad, but I got the chance to test the products.
Well, you're an artist, though. What did you think of the mud?
Well, the mud is, it's necessary for the steps of the system, and our mud is top quality. I have tried other brands.
Okay.
Obviously, there are some good ones out there. Ours in Panel Rey is on that level. And
What makes Panel Rey better than other brands?
I think first of all would be consistency.
Okay.
Consistency in you will get the same product each time you buy it.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. There are also other parts of this product, which is durability and the spreadness, the smoothness of how it applies, the sanding, right? There's also the sanding process, and
Yeah.
this product, our product sands very well and gives you a really smooth finish. It's not
Okay.
that hard like others, and part of that is the formula, right? Joint compound it's a pretty simple product. I mean, there's a few ingredients of a joint
Sure.
compound of a mud, but I mean, just tweaking all the levels
Yeah.
of those ingredients, that's the thing that makes it a top-notch quality
Okay.
product.
And you're pumping out a bunch of it.
Yeah.
Like, so how big is the vat or, I want to ask how it gets made, but that's too vague. If there were like 3 or 4 components that make
Mhm.
gypsum or joint compound, what are they?
Well, it's pretty much any filler, which will be any type of sand, right? Like a mortar
Okay.
or any product like this. There's obviously a filler. Then there's a like a cemented or a resin that makes it harder, right? And
Like a glue?
some kind of glue, right? Some kind of
Okay.
resin that makes it hard over the pass of some several minutes or hours. And other additives, maybe something that makes it white, or maybe something that makes it gray, or and
Okay.
you know, um, an ingredient that it's really important for this kinds of product, which is some kind of fungicide, right? Fungicide, which is what kills the fungus and bacteria,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So to make it resistant,
Mold resistant. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And what about fire? Now, are these components naturally fire resistant, or is there something you put in to make it fire resistant?
at the time, you will need to have some kind of ingredient to make it fire resistant
Okay.
certified. Uh, at this time, we don't have that. They are
Okay.
naturally fire resistant
Yeah.
because I mean it doesn't burn, it doesn't generate any smoke.
Okay.
But what happens with joint companies that it also has water. So with fire, this water tends to evaporate, and the joint compound that is left contracts and generates fissures. And with these fissures, well, fire can go to other places, right?
Okay.
But you know the main objective of a fire resistant wall wouldn't be the joint compound, but the gypsum board, right? But yeah,
Okay.
any other type of fire resistant mud would have some kind of any anti shrinking component. So with the fire, it remains the same size or the same structural element. It
Okay.
doesn't shrink.
Yeah. And that helps with fire prevention,
That's right.
spreading.
Yeah.
Okay. Very
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, fire resistance is a very vast and complex
Sure.
subject because I tend to do seminars to talk about the drywall system and our products, and part of these seminars is talking about fire resistance. And there's a lot of certifications that need to be complete to have a Type X board or a Type C gypsum board, whatever. And you can elaborate a 1 hour resistant wall or 2 hour resistant wall or whatever. And I tell my the attendees of these seminars that if you have some kind of fire in any room at your building, and in 1 hour you don't have any fire extinguisher or sprinklers, or the fire department doesn't come to your building and put out the fire, I mean, there's obviously an issue that is not a gypsum board related, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. You get to
Yeah.
do seminars, and
Yep.
I would guess that they are primarily in Spanish.
Primarily, yes, I do them sometimes in English.
Okay.
For example, in Jamaica or Belize,
Sure.
where they speak English, but primarily in Spanish. My main market is Dominican Republic. Shout outs to
Okay.
Dominican Republic. I love the over there, and yeah, I mean the construction is really huge there. And yes, as you told before, it's pretty much in Spanish almost every time.
Yeah, so you're probably more fluid, or is it easier for you to give a seminar in Spanish versus
Totally,
English? Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
I try.
Well,
I
I
try
told you
to.
on the phone, your English is very good, and
Oh, thanks, thanks,
yeah,
thanks.
I'm jealous. I'm always jealous when somebody speaks multiple languages.
Oh, thank you.
I would love to speak Spanish as well as you speak English,
Thank you.
for sure. Very cool. So if you give one of these seminars, what are like the 3 or 4 bullet points that you hit on when you give us, besides fire, obviously, we already covered that.
Yeah, it depends on the seminar. Sometimes I give some kind of introductory seminar, which pretty much talks about what the drywall system is. Well, some studs, there's some gypsum boards, some screws, and we're pretty much done. There are some also specialized seminars to talk about exterior walls, and in
Okay.
those seminars I talk about the special boards for exterior and do some calculations for wind resistant, uh, fire resistance as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much we talk about that because when I do seminars, most of the time I talk with people that already know how to do this job, right?
Okay.
I try to do something, next level. As I told you, exterior walls, fire
Yeah.
resistant, right? Pretty much it.
Very
And
cool.
obviously talk about the company.
Very cool. Well, we could
Yeah.
talk about the company too a little bit. How many employees does Panel Rey, and is there more than one factory?
Yeah, Panel Rey has a lot of factories, or lines of production, right? Because
Okay.
right now we have 4 lines of production for
Okay.
gypsum board, right? For gypsum board, we have 4 lines of production, 2 here in Monterrey, in San Luis Potosí, which is southern of Monterrey, and 1 other line of production over there in Ciudad Juárez, which is next to the border to El Paso.
Yeah.
Those are our main factories, but we also have lines of production with joint compounds, steel accessories such as tracks and studs and corner beads and metal accessories.
Okay.
And yeah, and another cement mortars or base coats, right, for
Okay.
the exterior walls. So we
Like
have we have
like stucco? Stucco?
yeah, it's kind of stucco, but it's powder.
Okay.
Yeah, it's made out of powder, made out of cement, sand, and the other additives
It's
for exterior walls.
and you make quick setting joint compound as
We
well.
do have, yeah,
Okay.
we do
All
have
right.
quick setting. It's called Easy Set. There's a lot of brands in the market, but ours in Panel Rey is called Easy Set.
Pretty
Uh,
popular. I've heard of
yeah,
Easy Sand.
yeah. I mean,
Now, is
we
it
have ours.
easy to sand?
It is easy to sand. Not 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 that much as a traditional joint compound,
Right.
because these kinds of easy sets have more, how do you call it, an additive that makes it, a fast set,
Stronger.
and tends to harden a lot. So to sand it's harder than a
Yeah. Do
traditional joint compound.
you make tapes?
We do
Joint
have tapes. It's one
paper
line of
tape?
production. Paper
Paper
tape,
tape?
paper tapes,
Mesh?
and also, well, mesh, no, we do commercialize it through other providers or suppliers.
Okay.
But we do make our own metal corner tape, which is made out of paper and a metal strip,
Yeah,
right?
what's that called?
We call it metal corner tape.
Metal cord.
Yeah, metal corner
Like
tape.
I just used one because I was going over a real bumpy surface with
Yeah.
FiberFuse. Are you familiar with FiberFuse?
5 of this? Not, no, sorry, no.
It's it's like a you could tear it. It's real fibrous,
Okay,
but
okay.
it's not like mesh. It's like
Oh,
you
okay,
can tear
okay.
it. It's like real
Yeah,
brittle.
it's like a fiberglass kind of cloth
Yeah,
or something like that.
cloth. And
Yeah,
so it comes in big rolls. And we
yeah.
did I recently did a wall. If I'm going over like wood or like
Mm-hmm,
really bumpy surface or brick,
mm-hmm.
I'll do quick set joint compound and then this this roll of almost like wallpaper, like
Yeah,
fibrous wallpaper.
yeah.
So 1 second.
No problem.
But I used your video has stopped for some reason.
No, I'm here.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
But I used a metal type bead. It's called, I forget what it's called, but it comes in a roll.
Uh, there's a few brands. One of
Yeah.
the most popular would be, I think, Trimtex.
Of course, Trimtex has, and
Yeah.
we've interviewed Joe Koenig of Trimtex with
Mm-hmm. All
vinyl
right.
corner beads,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think they have a roll as well with
Mm-hmm.
like a tape on, Easy Flex or something like that,
Something like that. Yeah. I
and it
think that one is made out of plastic.
has a little flex to it, so that if you're
Yeah.
going on a corner that's not straight,
Mm-hmm.
it'll move on you a little bit.
That's right. Yeah, and ours is it's made of metal
Okay.
because we do have metal ourselves.
Yeah.
We have our steel rolls, and with the material that we make the studs and tracks and
The
everything. We have,
studs. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
pretty
yeah.
big. So your company's pretty big. How many employees?
Well, Panel Rey is part of a group of companies, which is called Grupo Promax. Grupo Promax
Okay.
has Panel Rey as one of their key elements, but it also has Yesera Monterrey, Yesera, which is part of they're pretty much the owners of the quarry that has a gypsum, right?
Okay.
And here in Mexico or Latin America, gypsum is very common for construction, pure gypsum.
Okay. There's a lot of gypsum in Mexico.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I mean, in in other region, North America, and gypsum is a very common element of the earth, and there's some quarries around the world, and gypsum is a very malleable product to have to transform into other products.
Yeah.
So
And we
we
have
own our own quarries.
in New Mexico we have white sands, which is all
Yeah,
gypsum. Have you been there?
yeah. Oh, I haven't been there, but yeah. I mean,
You've heard of
white
it?
sands. It's pretty much gypsum.
Yeah. It's all like gypsum. It's like a desert. It's like a
Yeah,
bunch of gypsum just sitting on the earth.
yeah, yeah,
Pretty
yeah, yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's quality in gypsums. I didn't know until I got here in the company. You can get some kind of purity as any other element that you have to mine. You'll get 99% purity or 90% purity or 80% purity, whatever. So
Okay.
ours is 99% purity, and one of the best ones around the world, which can get you into, as I told you during our first part of the interview, consistency in getting the same product every time you buy it, right?
That's the main purpose behind having a 99% purity in your gypsum is consistency.
Yeah.
Is there any other benefits?
Normally you can get a wider product, but since it's mostly in gypsum board, you don't get to see it, right? If you use it in other areas, I mean, if you get the gypsum, the pure gypsum powdered, I mean, you can get a wider surface, but it's the difference is not that much between
I'm gonna start
another type
making
of gypsum.
mud. I'm gonna go down to White Sands. I'm gonna bring back up a bucket and I'm gonna start making it. It sounds easy.
It sounds easy. I mean, obviously, like making a pie, right? It's pretty
Like a
much three
cake.
ingredients,
Yeah.
but
I'm sure it's a nightmare.
yeah.
A lot to it, especially then you got to box it and stuff. But you do the boxes or just buckets?
Uh, well, not ourselves. We have suppliers, but I mean, it's boxes and buckets are, they're really easy to get. Uh, but our machinery is pretty much automized. We get obviously all the ingredients into a big, uh, how do you say it? A big recipient, right? It
A
mixes.
vat, a
A vat,
vat.
yeah, vat. Yeah, you get everything in a vat. It mixes very well, and it just pours into the recipient, which is a box or a bucket or maybe
Yeah,
a little bag, whatever is needed, right? So yeah, yeah, yeah,
very cool.
yeah,
And
and
are you selling a lot of Panel Rey in the United States?
yes, we do. It is
Okay.
not a region that I oversee, but uh, our main sales are in the USA, mainly Texas.
Okay.
I think mainly because there's a brand recognition amongst our Mexican uh, paisanos over there.
Yeah.
The guys that are the workers of the construction over there in Texas. They already know Panel Rey because they live in Mexico and they know the brand.
Uh,
But as well as having the price, the quality, the service, the availability of products, right? So, I mean, little by little, we get some kind of market share over there in
yeah.
USA.
Does Panel Rey want to continue spreading into the United States, getting more market share?
We do, we
Yeah.
do. I mean, part of our company, there's an office in the USA, and having an office there means potential for growing, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, hopefully we can be there more and also around the world, right? Right now, I do sell in England to our friend Ben.
Yep.
But I want to have the opportunity to sell, in other parts. We used to sell in Ireland, in Spain.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, there was a time that we also sell in New Zealand, Australia,
Yeah.
and Panel Rey is a company that has this availability and pricing to get around the world. Um, Unfortunately for us, but fortunately for other construction businesses, there's a lot of competition, right? And competition means better pricing for everybody else. And we as other companies try to deliver the best quality possible, so it means better service for our customers, right?
So you're saying that you can get to other places better because of maybe shipping from Mexico, cost of the product.
Mhm,
I know though, it seems like to me, making
mhm.
mud is just a pain. Like and it's so competitive with the
Yes.
price because it's like, people think, oh man, I'm paying $13 for a box of mud, but that ain't shit.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean,
Like some of these people are like, I don't even want to deal with mud. I have to make it because people require it, but it's not a big profitable product. Is
that's
that
right.
true?
Yeah, because as other products similar to muds, right? They are kind of easy to make, right? I mean, it's for example like a ceramic tile adhesive. I mean, it's a ceramic tile adhesive is pretty much cement, sand, and resins.
I'm making it. I'm gonna start making mud, and I'm gonna start making ceramic tile adhesive
You just gotta mix it, right?
with my hand.
And
A
get
masher. One of
a
those
measure and
mashers.
and just apply it. But and that's why there's a lot of competitors, right? Because I mean, people tend to have some kind of supplier of these ingredients, and I mean
Okay,
it's super easy, and but yeah, and as I just told, it's not that profitable,
but
right? I
it's not
mean,
profitable. Yeah, you have to sell a shitload of it.
that's right. Yeah, container loads, and
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So obviously, if you have a support of a brand as big as Panel Rey or the other, big big guys, I mean, the brand is helping you to sell, but I mean, it has to be good quality, consistent, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, because drywallers are picky.
Yes,
They're really
yes.
picky.
You wouldn't know, but I mean, people are very picky. I mean,
Yeah. I know.
yeah.
Drywallers are picky.
Yes.
They'll use a mud and like they love it. They will never
Yes.
change for their whole
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, we are selling to Ben this brand of mud, which is Ultima Light. Ultima Light is
Ultima
kind of like
Light.
Ultima Light. Yeah. Ultima Light is like our premium brand of mud, which is around 20% lighter. So what this means is that you get a 4.5 gallon, but it weighs less, 20% less, right? Normally, a 4.5 gallon or 5 gallon bucket weighs around 28 kilograms, which is maybe around 555 pounds.
Yep.
And um, and this product weighs around 22 kilograms
Okay.
in the same bucket. So
Pretty
that
good.
means, yeah. So what I told you before, and this is the cool thing about telling a story, that you get to go back to this key part, which is the shrinking, right? So Ultimate has a anti-shrinking ingredient that when you apply it, there's almost 3 or 4 steps of taping. Every step you have to let it dry, and when you let it dry, it kind of shrinks, right? So you get to put more joint compound in the next
Yep.
step. So
Yep.
Ultima Light has these anti-shrinking components that makes it that when you don't need that much joint compound to put on the next step. So
Okay.
you use less joint compound for.
Is this a new sort of revelation for the muds that Panel Rey is making this Ultima Light, this anti-shrinking property?
Well, not a new revelation. I mean,
Okay.
these kinds of products have been around for several
Okay.
years. The thing is that people, I mean, there's two sides of the story, or two sides of the
Yeah.
same coin.
Yeah.
For one side, you have to tell them, you know what, you're gonna use less joint compound. But on the other side, when you try to sell this kind of product, they see the technical data sheet, and they tell me, hey, but it's less product. So you're selling me less product. Well, yeah, because you need less product. So it's tricky, right?
Yeah, because it's the same as the air chips.
Yes, that's right.
You're paying more. You're paying
You
more
pay
for
more for
less
air.
chip.
Yeah, but it's a key ingredient, right? Even the air is
Well, and also there's probably aspects of creating, making this product lighter, this Ultima Light requires more components. It requires more tooling to create a more better product,
That's right.
that's lighter weight. So and
Mhm.
you're adding cost there. Competitively, like, let's say I'm in the United States and I
Mhm.
want to get some Panel Rey mud. There's a dude I just interviewed, Sunny Drywall, up in
Yeah.
Vancouver, BC, a remote part of BC.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
okay. Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
can't get mud. He wants a certain type of mud, but he can't get mud.
Yeah.
Do you guys do you just ship to retailers? How does that work? I mean, like, let's say people in the United States are curious about
Mhm.
Panel Rey. They
Yeah.
want to try some of it. Are you open to letting people try it, or should they order it from like Texas? How does that work?
No, they would have to talk to us here in our corporate. Obviously, I mean, depends on the volume, right? That you need to
Sure.
buy.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's distributors around the world,
Yep.
Mexico, USA, not in Canada. I would love to sell to Canada,
Nah, you don't
and
want to
yeah,
sell to those. Those Canadians are mean.
nah, man,
No,
I know a guy.
I say that because we have a lot of Canadians on the Drywall podcast. So
Oh yeah, man.
just
Yeah,
just making
greetings
fun.
to Canada. I hope I can
Yeah.
be there sometime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to be able to buy Panel Rey, obviously, will first of all they'll have to go to any distributor. But if not, talk to us, and we'll see if we can do something with you, with when any potential distributor, and see if, I mean, the pricing is competitive, the shipping, because I mean, even if we have any free trade agreement with USA and Canada, I mean, the shipping is tricky by train or by ship or by
Yeah.
truck. There's a few aspects that we need to check, right? And also, if
Yeah.
there's any plant nearby, right? Because I mean, if you already have a plant like next to your warehouse, I mean, shipping
Right.
from Mexico uh, wouldn't be any competitive. But I mean, we'll need to check and try and see if obviously the quality of our service and products can meet your expectations.
You and I talked a little bit about Fresco Harmony. So Ben likes the Fresco Harmony with the Panel Rey. Obviously, he uses and sells Panel Rey. When we do the training in Swindon, we'll be
Mhm.
using Panel Rey. So you guys will be getting a lot of PR.
Thanks,
So
man. Yeah.
that'll be cool. I use a mud up in Canada that I really liked.
Mhm.
The mud that I used in Canada up in Toronto when we do a training, I use a certain kind of mud,
Yeah.
and I would get more movement out of the color, out of the design.
Okay.
It was really cool. I don't know why. Versus USG, which I advertise USG because you can get it in a lot of places, and
Mhm.
it's good for the color chart. So
Yeah.
they do have a wider base.
Okay.
You've talked about Panel Rey having a wider base, which I think is
Yes.
key. And you asked me why white whiter base is better, and I'm like, well, because
Mhm.
you start with white, and then you can create color from white.
That's
Uh,
correct.
so
Ultima
that
Light
Ultima Light,
is a wider product. Ultima Light is a wider product, one of the
you were
widest in the markets.
you were saying that you thought that that would be the best product for Fresco Harmony
I
of
think so.
your
Yeah,
of your products
yeah.
because of the wider base, or is there other properties?
Well, in color wise, yes, that would be one of the main characteristics. But um, Ultima Light is a smoother product. So when you apply it applies smoothly. So you can create, I think, a better finish
Okay.
combining both products, right? Fresco Harmony and the Ultima Light.
Yeah.
I hope that when you get to try it, obviously, well, record it and everything. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll
and see
tag
it.
you. We'll tag you in the post
Of
on
course, man. Yeah, yeah,
Instagram.
yeah. I'll send you my Instagram and
For
obviously
sure.
Panel Rey. Well, Panel Rey would be super pending on this event.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
What other, I want to ask, we'll go back to color, but what other products in the ready mix space, how many muds do you have? Like most of the time there's like taping,
Yeah.
all purpose and topping. So do you
Yeah.
have like those three or do you have more? Where would the Ultima Light? Is that more of a
Mm.
finish texture mud?
It's really weird because here in Mexico we're not that advanced in the drywall system, right?
Okay, okay,
So one product serves all,
okay.
right? One size serves all. So
Yeah,
um, in Mexico we use it for taping and topping, right? And you
okay,
can use either Ultima Light or there's a lot of joint compounds that we make, which is Standard Plus, Unimax, Ultima Light, Super Ligero,
okay.
Midweight. Pretty much we all these products are pretty much the same, but some of the ratios changes. For example, maybe density or dry time, you know. But overall, you can use the same product for taping and or topping, right? Ultima Light in this scenario or hypothetical scenario, I think it would be more for the last step of the way, which is topping.
Okay. Okay.
I think so because it's a wider and smoother finish.
A lot of people will use topping mud for Fresco Harmony
Yeah.
because they look at it more as a technical. I use an all-purpose
Hmm.
blue top
Yeah.
USG because
Hmm.
if I have to do a patch or something, I
Sure.
want that adhesive, that glue quality if I have to patch with it. But it
Yeah.
varies. It'll vary from finisher to finisher. We talked about as long as you use the same amount, it's no problem. Like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, Ultima Light serves this purpose, right?
Okay.
Doesn't mean that you cannot put it in the taping process, right? Like,
Okay.
it's a really good product.
Okay.
And but yeah, as I told you, we have all these products. And why is that? If you go to, for example, Dominican Republic, and Dominican Republic, they use, the biggest brand would be, I'm gonna say anything, brand A. So they like brand A joint compound, and brand A has these characteristics. And if you go to Jamaica, which is an island which is very close to there, they use brand B,
Okay.
and the characteristics are close but not the same. But it's the same weather, right? It's pretty much
Yeah.
if you go to Arizona and then you go to
Yeah.
Albuquerque, it's pretty much the same thing. But Arizona likes one kind of joint compound, and Albuquerque
Yeah.
uses another one. So it really depends on the market, right? And it's really weird, but also depends on the color of the lid.
Oh, weird. That's
Really,
so
right?
weird.
Yeah, I like the green top or the red top or the black top.
Right. The fun fact too, like with the color names that I come up with, people will get dissuaded from a color because of the name of the color. Like if you
Yeah,
call it shit brown, they're not going to buy it versus chocolate. you know.
That's
It's
right.
strange, but it's true. Like people think about if you have, so when I go to name colors, I think about
Mhm.
what sounds pleasing to the
That's right.
ear, which is
Th-
weird. Has nothing
That's
to do
correct.
with the color.
Yeah, and for example, one of the companies that is, kind of like a sister company of us, which is Supermastic.
Okay.
Supermastic is a company that is in Colombia. There's a production, installation production in Bogota and in Cartagena, and it's only joint compounds. Supermastic brand, and well, Supermastic is the biggest brand in Colombia, and the pails are yellow, right?
Okay.
So when in Colombia, when you see a yellow pail, you you see a joint compound, right? Yellow pail with black lid. And when you go, for example, to Dominican Republic, a yellow pail with black top would be maybe oil or maybe any waste or any other type of product.
Oh,
So when you see different markets with the same product, it doesn't look that appealing in one market, but it does in another. It's really
right.
weird. So you'll have to play also with some packaging color, right? To make
Yeah.
it
Yes.
visually.
And then USG started to do packaging with the Mexican colors. Like
Yeah, green.
which is
Yeah, green,
smart.
green,
It's
white,
really
and
smart.
red. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
they
right.
started doing it, and I was like, oh, that's really smart.
Yeah,
For like the flag, you know.
it has to be like that. In Mexico, for example, we use red top, white bucket and red top, and USG had to change it from green top to red top because of that.
Ah,
Right? So, I mean, as you say in America, whatever floats your boat.
yeah, whatever floats your boat. Very good. Super cool conversation though. I like the conversation about mud because I play around with it a lot.
Yeah,
It's fun. There's a product called Mud Skip. Have you heard of it? Have you heard of Mud Skip?
not really. Can you tell me
It's
what
an
it is?
additive for all-purpose joint compound that creates the mud to go off quicker. It's like a powder.
Okay, okay, yeah,
Very,
yeah.
very interesting. And what I've found is that it prevents so when I mix up mud and I'm doing a job, and then I put the lid on the mud after it's colored and it sits for a little while, sometimes the mud will mold. But
Ah,
the stuff that they're using, they have a conditioner. It's like a liquid.
okay.
Totally, it makes it not mold.
I
Fascinating.
mean, yeah, these types of additives. I mean, I always say in the construction business, you always get some kind of discoveries,
We get
right?
soap. People put soap.
Yeah, that's what I was going to tell. I mean, there's people that I mean, they have the pan and they use this liquid soap. I was like,
Yeah.
what are they doing, man? But
Now USG, if you read on the side of the packaging, it'll say if you anything other than distilled drinking water voids the warranty. So is that
that's
the
right.
same? That's the same
It's the
with Panel
same.
Ray? Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you
So
can
when
you
you
can
put
put up
Fresco
to.
Harmony in Panel Ray, you guys no more you wash your hands.
We'll need to check.
We need
Normally,
to check.
we'll need to check.
You got to put
Normally,
put a little disclaimer like safe for Fresco Harmony.
let's
It's
do an
it's
initiative.
water-based color.
Yeah,
It's the only
uh,
mud that's safe for Fresco Harmony.
of course. And well, if it's water soluble, I mean, I'm sure there isn't any issue because we used to do a tainted joint compound,
Yeah,
especially for the West Coast. So
right.
we talked about it actually,
Yep.
and West Coast and actually I think Australia uses a more yellowish joint compound.
Okay.
Right? So
All right.
why? That's what they need over there. So
Yeah.
we need to put some kind of coloring, right?
Yeah.
So I mean it wouldn't be any issue, right? Um, but yeah, I mean
And
uh,
most of the time, I think when I'm getting bacteria in the mud, it's from my hands or the dirty water.
mhm,
A
that,
bug flies in there, anything. I mean, the likelihood of somebody using distilled drinking water to mix their mud is very uncommon.
no.
Like the
No, no.
mud's,
So
the water's always dirty.
yeah, it's always dirty over there. But I mean, our joint compound has this, fungicide, or this has
Okay.
bacteria. Yeah, so it tends to, kill all these germs. And ultimately, if you have super dirty water and a dirty environment and humid environment, you're gonna get mold, right? And anyway,
Hmm.
so yeah. Um, I mean, Panel Rey is a great company to work. It's super fun. I get to speak with a lot of people and get to know, I mean, cool guys like yourself. And I mean, it's been a great career here. I'm really thankful here in Panel Rey for this
Yeah.
opportunity.
It's cool. I want to come down and visit you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to come down. I love Mexico. I've been down there a couple
Mhm.
times, but the people are so nice and it's just so beautiful down there. How long have you been with Panel Ray?
Yeah. Well, I started in 2011.
Okay.
Which is 14 years ago. But I had a period where I went out of Panel Rey for around 4 years.
Okay.
But I came back, right?
You cheated. You cheated on Panel Ray.
Kind of for 4 years.
USG called you over. They said, "You come over here, Oscar. We want you. We're gonna pay you more."
Well,
Where did
I,
you
I
go?
lo- yeah, I mean, the business is business, but well, yeah, in this case, I went for another company
Okay.
which is Interceramic, which is a company that makes ceramic tiles and all the adhesives and such. So that's why I told you about adhesive, because I got to know this industry as well.
Yeah.
And
Cool. Cool.
yeah, and well, it make me more experienced in the construction
What
industry.
happened? You didn't like it over there? They were mean. They were mean to you.
Yeah, no, no, no. There's it's but I lived in Cancun actually. I went from Monterrey to Cancun. I lived for 7 years in Cancun, and well, there was an opportunity for me to come back to Monterrey and study a master's degree in
Okay.
civil engineering, and one of the uh, the the hooks that I threw in several companies. One of them was Panel Rey, and Panel Rey had the need for a guy, and well, having the experience here in Panel Rey before, well, I think it was a no-brainer for them and no-brainer for me, and I'm super happy to be here again.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Oscar Acosta, Panel Ray, very intelligent, well spoken.
thanks,
I
man. Thanks.
really appreciate your time and the knowledge that you're bringing to the drywall community. We get to learn a little bit more about mud. It makes me want to interview other mud
Yeah,
companies. No
yeah.
offense.
No, no problem.
But it'd
I
be
mean,
cool to learn, learn
yeah,
different aspects of different mud
totally,
companies.
totally.
There's a few companies that there's not many, but there's a couple
Hmm.
companies out there, and it's we use mud every day in the drywall
Hmm.
industry. One thing I do ask all of the interviewees that come onto the drywall podcast is a pearl of wisdom that you could bestow on the drywall community and humanity. If you had something that you could put on a billboard that would be inspirational to all of your fellow tradesmen and humans on the planet, what would it be?
Well, first of all, to be thankful for having the opportunity of being in the drywall business, because uh, it's it's a very noble construction system, and uh, here in Mexico we try to promote it, because I mean the wall the concrete walls are huge here, right? The concrete construction company, and just try to be a promoter of the drywall system, uh, to give people their advantages, as such as speed, cleanness. It's a dry system. You don't need any water. Um,
Do you
I
think that the
think the,
people look down their nose at, and what I mean is, may they look down on drywall because it's not as strong as brick in Mexico?
Yeah. It's,
Because in
yeah.
America, it's like everybody who gives a shit. It's cheaper, put it
Yeah.
on the wall, you know.
Yeah.
Like
It
so
does.
in Mexico, it's a pride.
Yeah, it does because people tend to uh, do this and knock on every wall to see if it's made of brick or drywall, right?
Okay.
It's weird, but it happens here in Mexico and Latin America.
Okay.
The culture is more Spanish related than America or than British related. So
Yeah. Older too. It's older, you
it's
know.
older. I
Tradition.
mean, tradition, and as you know, Mexico has some pyramids made out of stone, so
Yeah.
it's in our tradition. So it doesn't mean it's bad. What I'm trying to say is for everyone else working at the drywall industry, to keep promoting. It's a great construction system, super noble, and it's also fun. It's like a more do-it-yourself. Uh, so yeah, I mean, and be thankful to be in this construction system.
I love
Yeah,
it.
man.
Be grateful. I mean, that's pretty universal and difficult.
Yeah,
But I always say that everything starts like you want something in life, everything starts with gratitude.
that's right.
Uh,
Yeah,
and it's hard to remember. You know, sometimes I
yeah,
want to yell at the car, you know, it's like I'm lucky that I'm driving in a car and living in a house and I have
yes,
clean water to drink and food to eat, you know, like these sorts of
yeah.
things. Gratitude,
Yeah,
man.
and I mean, try for myself, and I know that you're doing it yourself as well. Try to get the best of it. Try to have fun, right?
Hmm.
Experiment. I know that you're experimenting with colors and additives and everything. So,
Yeah,
well, those are the discoveries that we were talking about, like putting soap and whatever.
sure.
Sometimes you get something out of your mind, and it's super wonderful. And yeah, I mean, it's super fun, super fun.
Yeah, and call Oscar. Next time you find the next big discovery, you got to call Oscar so that Panel Rey can be in on it and make their mud even better.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you so much for being on the Drywall Podcast today. This was awesome. Now we know each other. This one, shout out to Ben at GWI for hooking us up. Thank
Yeah,
you very much,
thank you,
sir.
man. Thank you so
We're
much.
we're going to be playing with Panel Rey at the training at GWI in October, Saturday, October 11th. We're going to be playing. We're gonna put it to the test. We're going to see
Yeah,
how this stuff operates and whether or not some of these influencers like it or not. I know that they're using people that go to GWI use Panel
mm,
Rey, so all
yeah,
that's good. But I hope you have a great rest of your day. Very nice to meet you, sir.
yeah. You too. Thank you so much, Nick, and good luck over there in England.
Thank you, sir. Talk to you
All
soon.
right, take care. Bye.
Bye. Huge shout out to Oscar for being with us on the Drywall Podcast today. I know a little bit more about Panel Rey, and I hope you do too. We'll be working with Panel Rey at the GWI Training Retail Showcase in Swindon on October 11th. If you guys want, you should come. It's going to be awesome. Today's episode of the Drywall Podcast was sponsored by our good friends at East Coast Drywall Tools. East Coast has over 35 years of experience servicing automatic tools, repairing most major brands, including Drywall Master, Tape Tech, Level 5, Columbia Blue Line, and Tape Pro. You'll be kept updated throughout the entire repair process, and you can always call for questions and more. Visit eastcoastdrywall.com for tools or information on repairs. Check out my interview with Derek Trout of East Coast Drywall Tools all the way back on episode 53. Or if you are new to the podcast, stay tuned because I will be interviewing Derek Trout again, and his episode is going to drop next week, next Friday on the Drywall Podcast. It is episode 147. You have a lot of choices when you head over to that radio to listen to something during your workday. Today, you chose the Drywall Podcast. And if I could come through this microphone and give you a hug, I would. You know I would. But I can't. So I'm just going to say thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you liked this episode. As I said, tune in next week for Derek Trout on his second appearance on the Drywall Podcast. It's really good. Seriously. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend or week. And remember, keep drywalling.